Welcome, Internet, to episode 29 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture. I am Big Pops, also known as Todd Turner. Actually, that's what I was primarily known as before I became Big Pops, then morphed into Mosaic Fan Art. That was a long intro. And you are who again?
You are who again? That was good, Daddy. I'm Sis, a.k.a. Hannah Jo. And together, we are an adult daughter-father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family-friendly.
Hooligan is...
Funny. Okay, so we are talking about multiple things today. Yes. We are going to, as always, start off...
episode 29.
29. We're going to start off talking about what we are binging. No. Why am I... I'm losing my mind.
It'll come. Binging is... I told you were a hooligan.
I'm a hooligan. Do hooligans forget things?
All the
part
time.
of the Oh, okay. Well,
that's why, yes.
We're going to talk about pop culture news. Then we're going to talk about what we're binging. Then we're going to talk about your pull list. Then we're going to talk about a TV show / thing that we watched. And then we're going to talk about a comic book.
There you go. A comic book trade that collected the first so many issues. Yeah.
Indeedy-doo.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Woo-hoo. All right. So, nerd news.
Okay.
Typewriter sound. Are you playing music? Do an audio setup. It's funny. Well, let me tell you what. Let me hit you with something right off the bat.
Hit me with your best shot.
In 2022 comes... Okay, I know that whole song. Do you want me to sing it? You come on with it, come on. You don't fight fair.
Dad, my favorite. That was my... I just it had silent laughter.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
In 2022, anyway, I'm so sorry.
The first ever Lego comic book.
What?
Yes, this is by a company called Skybound. And here's the deal. Skybound is the company that pretty much helped put together The Walking Dead, The Invincibles, and Ultra Mega, which I'm currently collecting right now.
You like Ultra Mega?
I do, yes. So, but that seems a little bit bizarre that Lego would use...
It's the first ever comic book, too. Like, that seems...
I know.
Like, wouldn't you think that... I don't know. Who owns Lego?
Lego.
Okay, Lego's not...
You know those people that make the waffles? They own it. That's where that Lego My Ego came from. It was from a Lego.
Really? Thing. You're lying.
No, I completely made that up.
Daddy, I believed you for a hot second.
So next year, I can't wait. A Lego comic book. I'm here for it all day long.
I love that.
Which, by the way, here's a good thing because Nathan doesn't listen to our podcast.
Okay, what?
That.
Did you get the thing?
I got the thing.
Yeah, you did, Dad. So Dad got the thing.
That's because I signed up for Lego thingies on my email, and they told me when the thing R2D2 came back in stock. Woo! And I got it. There you go.
I love that. That's awesome.
I know. Anywho, any of you guys out there listen to this, and you tell my son, that's talking to you, HBO executives.
Yeah.
Disney Plus,
HBO executives.
Disney Plus and Netflix and Hulu bigwigs. Better not. Anywho.
Shenanigans. Hooligan indeed, Dad.
Lego comic book. Sounds cool.
That's so cool.
What do you got?
Hey, Loki comes out tomorrow as of our recording of this.
Yes.
I'm stoked about it. I'm stoked that it comes out in the middle of the week.
I am too.
Because Wednesdays is your day off.
Yeah, but you know why? Because they don't want it to bump up against putting out the new episode of the Bad Batch cartoon.
Oh, I'm not watching that.
There's another little piece of Loki news.
Okay, lay it on me.
So Loki has gotten a hold of the Lucky Charms cereal. They're now going to be called Loki Charms, and they're mischievously delicious. Yes. Lucky Charms are going to be changed to
Has it
Loki
happened?
Charms.
Because I'm going to go buy a box immediately after we have
I was like, that is amazing
I'm going to
marketing.
go buy. I'm not even going to like eat them. I will eat them.
No, probably I wouldn't because I'm on a diet. But anyway, yes, I don't know if they're out yet or not.
Tonight.
But there's like you know how they have the leprechaun, the
They're
cartoon
after
leprechaun.
Lucky Charms.
There's a cartoon Loki, and
That's awesome.
he is mischievously delicious, not magically delicious.
That's so much.
Isn't that great? I want to know what the marshmallows are going to be. I bet you open up the box and it's just the bits. Horrible. It'd be like, what the heck? Way to go, Loki.
Loki Charms.
I know. How cool is that? That's great, isn't it?
They're making a Cowboy Bebop live action TV show on Netflix.
All right. Okay, so a friend of mine sent me a message last night, or maybe it was early this morning. He works early, and we're in this group text message. So if he gets texts at 9 o'clock at night, he's in bed. So he sends them at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
As I would, same.
And he sent something, and I just didn't look at it. So what now? Here's the deal. I don't know what Cowboy Bebop is.
I thought you watched that anime, or is that Nathan?
Is that an anime?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Cowboy Bebop.
I'm sure we will talk about it tomorrow at my group, but I'm going to have to look it up. But I did see, and the guy who played Sulu on the new movies, I thought was in it. I can't remember who else, but I don't know what Cowboy Bebop is. Now I'm intrigued and I have to go watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I'm lying to you. I thought it was an anime. Oh, yeah. Cowboy Bebop TV series literally was for one season in 1998.
Well, hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be as cool as that Firefly show. You know what I mean?
And they'll just do one season.
Could be.
So I thought that you watched that.
Nope, but I am going to now. I'll find it and watch it.
Because literally, who else could it be in my life?
I don't know.
Straight up,
Nate watches that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Maybe that's what I thought it was. I've heard of Cowboy Bebop before. Maybe it's one of my friends in the cohort who's been talking about it.
Well, I'm for it. Anyway.
Always here for a live action anything.
Big rumor that Black Panther Wakanda Forever is going to introduce Namor the Submariner.
That would be dope.
I know. So I still don't know how they're going to tiptoe around the whole Chadwick Boseman thing, but
yeah,
that's going to stink because, of course, the Submariner was like one of the first Marvel heroes. He and the original Human Torch, not the Fantastic Four Human Torch, and Captain America were like really big. But the first time they brought Submariner back into modern comics was in the pages of Fantastic Four.
That's what I was going to say, because you gave me, when you didn't give them to me, but when everything was happening with the Avengers, I was like, I don't know who all of these people are. And you were like, here, read these comics that describe the creation of all of these different people and how they know. And it was
like the encyclopedia?
No, it was like these like comic books that have all of the like stuff together, and they were kind of old.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what they're called. But I remember reading it, and it was Johnny Storm went up and was like, no, that's Namor. He's forgotten who he is.
He takes his little finger torch
and shaves his head.
Burns his beard off. Yeah, that's true. That's in there. I forgot that.
I read it.
Oh, cool.
I remember being like, that's silly.
20th Century Fox has got a new movie coming out in October, animated, that I think looks pretty good.
Okay, what is it?
It's called Ron's, RON''S Gone Wrong.
Oh. I have not watched the trailer for it, but I saw it, and it seems interesting.
Bebots. So everybody gets a Bebot, which is their best friend.
Oh, sweet.
And it's going to be their best friend. And then this one poor guy gets his, and it's completely jank. and it's voiced by Zach Galifianakis, and it looks really good. Although I think it has a lot to say about, everybody wants to have,
Technology.
this
The new
get
thing.
their best friend. We don't have real friends, so we have to create our own friends. But that's what everything is. What?
In the Heights is this weekend.
I saw you could watch the first 10 minutes on something
In the
right
Heights. I can't because then I'm going to be like, and then not be able to watch it.
now. Why wouldn't you be able to watch it?
Well, I'd have to wait.
What does it come in? What's it on?
It's going to be on HBO.
Yeah, so you can watch it.
I know, but I don't want to watch the first 10 minutes now. I want to watch all of it.
Oh, I got you. I see. You don't want to wait.
I don't want to wait.
I understand.
So I will choose to wait until
The whole
Friday.
thing comes out. Yeah, I get you.
On
I'm
the
not going to
11th.
watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it at all.
You would love it, Dad.
All right. You're singing, and I don't know if I will or not.
Why not? It's by Lynn. It's by Lynn.
I know. The issue is I just don't have time to sit down and watch all these TV shows, things.
Go see it at the movie theater.
I'm not doing that either.
Okay, well.
I would
then
rather go
don't
see something
it.
else. I don't care. I probably will watch
You're not
it.
going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to watch it. Are you kidding me?
There's a Netflix show on that I just got to watch one episode of that I really want to watch the rest of them. So I want to do that next.
Is that what we watch?
No, we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
That's all my news.
My last piece is there's a company called Reed Pop, and Reed Pop is the company that puts together
REED? REID?
REED Pop, and they're
Reed
the
Pop.
ones that run the New York Comic Con.
Okay, dope.
C2E2, which is the Chicago big one.
Okay.
They also do like Comic-Con Paris, Comic-Con Africa. They do Crunchyroll convention. So they put on conventions,
Cool.
big ones. And they are starting a new thing called, at least for the New York Comic-Con, and I think this is probably going to start for everything. They call it the Metaverse Membership.
What's that?
So they got two different price plans. You have a fan price for $65 or the ultimate super fan
Like
or whatever for
$150?
for $100.
Okay, that's not
and
bad.
you basically get to see all the panels or so many of the panels and interviews as they happen.
Wow.
Plus you get merchandise and stuff and access to certain
Is it
merchandise.
virtual?
This is virtual. So
Interesting.
think about it. Me going to the New York Comic Convention would cost thousands of
a
dollars.
gazillion dollars.
Yeah. So, and I think for people who have been, they're still skeptical about going out into the public with,
Which I get that too.
I get it too. This might be a good alternative.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they're only doing it right now for New York Comic Con, but I have a feeling if it works out, this is going to do
Be
this
every
for everything.
place.
I think so too. And I like that idea. I like the idea like last year with the San Diego Comic Con where you could see things online and the DC Future State, the DC, what was that thing called? Do you remember? Something happened and even put a
Fandom.
piece of my art in it. Fandom. What about you remembering? I'm the old guy.
I write the
Yeah, you are
blurbs,
again?
Dad. I write the
Way to go,
blurbs.
whatever you blurb writer.
I'm a blurb writer.
Yeah. I just think I like that ability.
Notes.
Show notes. I don't know that I would spend that much money on everything. There would have to be a menu for me to decide whether I thought it was worth my while.
Yeah.
And I think something they could do is like do maybe $300. You get all of them.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And get
Because-
access
if
to
you
recordings for a certain amount of time.
Well,
or
not
something
even
like
that. Maybe you get like autographs or something like that. Those are expensive anyway, but
Yeah.
I think I thought that was cool.
I'm trying to
It's
think.
called the Metaverse Membership
Metaverse.
via
Interesting.
Reed Pop, which I
really
know is
cool.
right now just on like the New York Comic Convention.
I think that's really smart.
I do too. I think we should do that. If you want to pay us $700, you can be on our boom chat, our Zoom chat. I don't know. I just made that
Our
up.
boom chat.
You can. I don't know why boom just came out. You said
silly.
boom earlier. Yeah.
Here comes. Do you remember the Here Comes the Boom movie?
Yes, I love that movie, especially when he eats hot applesauce and throws up all over the guy.
Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom.
It was a good movie. I liked it.
Oh, Kevin James.
I know. Yep.
That's a sweet
That's
movie.
it for my. That's it for my news.
That's all the news I got.
There was a bunch of news, but I was like, nah, I'm going to slim it down.
Well, here's the thing. It's the beginning of the month, and all of the news at the beginning of the month are, this is what's leaving this streaming service, and this is what's coming to this streaming service.
Who
and
cares
y'all
about that,
just
Garb? I've told you how I feel about that.
search up a listicle. Love Hannah. I'll Google it for you. If you want me to send you a link, let me know.
I'm right in the Google.
Queen of the Google.
Quit Googling. I'm gonna cut your Google out.
Can't stop, won't stop, Dad.
All right. Anyway,
What's
what's
watching?
next?
What you binging?
Really, nothing.
Yeah, I feel that.
Although I find myself sitting down now that I have my iPad while other people are watching TV
and reading comic books.
Yeah. That I said I would never do. Reading digital comic books. But in my defense, currently I'm reading a comic book that I already have. It's in the basement. But at night I can't read them because my eyes are so bad. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Although this week we watched
We did.
Prince of Egypt.
Deliver us.
Yes.
Oh, the music in that movie slaps.
Fantastic. And it is just
slaps.
Star-studded. I mean, do you realize that Pharaoh and his wife at the beginning is Patrick Stewart and Helen Mirren?
You're lying.
No.
No way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Ramses is Ralph Fiennes and Val Kilmer is Moses. Sandra Bullock is Miriam. Martin Short and Steve Martin are the two acolytes of Ra or whatever.
You're lying to me.
And I mean, Jeff Goldblum is Aaron. I mean, there's more people. I'm just running out of their names. I mean, Dad, it's so crazy.
That movie is my childhood.
It is great. It's the first animated
we did that in
film.
ballet.
We should have reviewed that.
Well, let's do it next week.
It's the first.
Well, let's stop talking about how great it is, and we'll watch it next week.
I already watched it. I'm up on you.
I'll watch it again, and we'll talk about it next week.
All right.
But I'm with you. That movie bops.
Yeah, and other than that, I know we watched another movie, but I can't remember what it is. I've been trying to find something that I could just, put it in the background and have it going, and but generally I'm just having to have audio, yeah, talking, not pictures.
So podcasts.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Hannah?
More Gravity Falls.
What is the deal with Gravity Falls? Because all of my friends are like saying they love this Gravity Falls. Is this an old show?
It's not.
Was it?
I think.
Is it new?
Maybe
is
it is. I don't think it's old. Because I didn't watch it when I was growing up. But like the
animation style, it's kind of
old school.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's sort of like that one show that you guys used to watch. It was sort of like Survivor with the kids. Camp. They were like something island.
The animation looks like that. It's not.
No.
Oh, Total Drama Island.
Total Drama Island. That's what the animation looked like.
So the first episode was in 2012 and the final episode was in 2016. So it's not like.
So yeah, it's old.
So it's not like
9 years old.
It's not my child. Well, here's the thing. I wasn't watching stuff like that in high school.
I know. I get you.
So I didn't. But I really do think that you'd enjoy it. I've told you that.
Everybody says, what's it on? Netflix?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So it's like TV teen or something or
yeah, it would be
kids.
like on Disney XD.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's really funny. Like there was this one episode that I watched and they were like talking about how this boy band, they all looked so similar. And one of the little brother made the joke. He's like, they're clones. And then they go and to like meet them and they actually are clones. And then they like save them.
Clones.
And this girl,
in the clone.
This girl Mabel is like, so it's Mabel and Dipper are the two main characters, their brother and sister, and they go to stay with their uncle, their Grunkle Stan.
That's right, you said that.
Uncle
Grunkle Stan.
They call him
you told
Grunkle
me that.
Stan.
I remember that.
And it's just it's like they work at the Mystery Shack, but the S fell off and it says Mystery Hack. It's just hysterical.
That's good.
And that's where they live and stay. And so like weird shenanigans happen.
Gotcha.
Like kind of spooky, paranormally.
I'm going to have to watch it.
Like sci-fi-y.
I got you.
Like in the very first episode, Mabel starts dating this guy and turns out I made a joke and I was like, it's hams in a trench coat. Like that's like a joke. It's like, that's not a woman. It's hams in a trench coat. And then
Gotcha.
the woman and hams fall out. And I'm like, haha, hams in a trench coat. And it was gnomes in a trench coat.
Oh, you said that. I remember you saying it.
I really think that you'd like the show.
That is funny.
You should check it out.
This is not necessarily what I'm binging, but I saw a clip from Teen Titans Go, and it was hilarious. They are going to break into Axis Chemicals, which is where the Joker, remember?
Oh, no. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that they all have to, they have to like convince the henchmen behind the thing to let them in.
Oh no.
So Cyborg does his Joker impression, and it is the Jack Nicholson. He goes, "Wait till they get a load of me," and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, they're like, "Oh, sorry, Mr. J. We're having trouble with this." And then Beast Boy comes up and he looks like Heath Ledger. He does his Heath Ledger imitation, and he's like, and he ends it with, "Why are you so serious?"
That's
and
hysterical.
Then Robin comes up and he's got tattoos and grills in his mouth, and he's Jared Leto, and he's like, and the henchmen are like, "You're not the Joker." They're like, stop. They're like,
that either.
Yeah, they're like, go get him. We're gonna send out the whatever. And then Beast Boy goes, "I'm gonna have to do my best, Mark Hamill," and he fixes stuff and he does Mark Hamill's version of the Joker.
Hysterical.
And they're like, "We're letting you in right now." Yeah, it was so good. Just like a 3-minute clip that nailed all the Jokers and the whole thing with the Jared Leto going.
Well, there was this TikTok I saw, and this girl made her face into quadrants.
TikTok.
Dad, she was doing makeup, and she did each quadrant of her face was a different Joker.
Well,
different Joker makeup.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool cosplay.
I don't like the Jared Leto Joker. I'm sorry.
Don't pick him. Pick something else. I also finished a season of Ruby.
Don't pick him. Pick something else.
Well, there's plenty of Jokers. Just pick another Joker.
I know. I did. I picked my Joker right now.
Okay. We have to do 4 to do this cosplay.
I have to pick 4 Jokers?
Yeah, because she made her face into 4.
Well, then it's easy. I know who my 4 are.
Okay. I also finished a season of Ruby.
All right, good.
And whoa, Nelly.
You said it got bonkier and bonkier.
This past season, it was like our heroes are scattered to the wind, and they have to learn to trust themselves in new ways before journeying back together. That type of shenanigan. Mm-hmm. And we got some backstory on 2 of my favorite characters who don't do a lot, Rin and Nora, because they're bestest friends and they love each other so much, and I just love them. And we got they have their tragic backstory. It was so sad. It was so sad.
I don't like sad cartoons.
Well,
but anime, that's anime. What do you expect?
They've been each other's protectors for a very long time.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
So that was their love for each other, I think, is very beautiful.
I always love it when you get backstory, though, because it always gives you more, you feel like, oh, I'm more connected now, and I'm more invested in these characters.
It's interesting from my point of view, because I'm like, oh, these 2 people have chosen to cope with the same traumatic event in vastly different ways. So one of them is just kind of like, ah, and the other one's like,
I get you.
You know what I mean?
That's people.
That's people,
That's
man.
real life.
They go 2 separate ways, I
know it. Well, I want to find something to binge.
Okay, so
and I think it's going to be what we talk about later.
Gravity Falls.
No.
I'm just saying, I think you'd like it.
All right. I don't mean that's not the one I want to choose. I just think I would choose something different.
Yes, I know. Well, you will be done with.
So here's the deal: Gravity Falls. We said kids could watch that.
Kids could
Prince
watch
of Egypt is PG.
Kids could watch.
And yeah, but it's still the animated part where they,
It's spooky.
Pharaoh, where they kill the Hebrew children, is a little bit creepy.
The cow.
Prince
I
of
always
Egypt.
thought the cow that got really, really skinny and falled over.
I don't
That
know what
always
that's
freaked
from.
me out.
I don't
In
remember
Prince
that.
of Egypt with the plagues.
Oh.
Thus saith the Lord,
Oh,
thus saith the Lord.
I might have been reading a comic book during that part. Anyway,
There can be miracles.
the music's great.
I promise I sing better than that in real life. I was being silly.
Yeah, it was funny because I love the part when they part the Red Sea and you can see the lightning flashes. You can see a whale, and Nathan's there would be no whale in
there'd
any
be no
sea. But anyway,
no
it was
whales
cool.
there, man. Okay.
It was cool.
Well,
Well, what?
your pull list.
Oh, from pool list.
Will? What?
All right, so I stuck with the same deal.
Wait.
2, 2, 2, 1.
What is a pull list, Dad?
Okay, for those of you who have never listened before, a pull list is a list of comic books that you give your local comic book shop owner to tell them, hey, I would like you to pull these from your inventory before you put them on the shelf so that ragamuffins
for
and
me.
hooligans can bend the pages.
Like
And,
your girl, truly.
Yeah. And so these books are from my pull list, and
You've picked
actually-
us 2 Marvels, 2 DCs,
Actually-
2 other ones, and a
my
book of the week.
Book of the week. And
Book
two
of the
of these
week
that
is a
I am
book of the
reviewing were not in my pull list. I just picked them up.
Interesting.
So,
Speaking of pull list, I got my second Ruby comic.
yeah, you should.
Still haven't read it.
It's a variant cover too.
It is a variant cover.
A variant
And
cover
it's
for those of you
Blake
who don't know.
And Green Lantern
Oh, cool.
on the cover. I think.
Awesome.
It is.
Which female Green Lantern or male Green Lantern?
I think it's a female Green Lantern.
Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know, a variant cover is just what it sounds like. The comic book producers, they will put out a comic book with the regular cover, and then on occasion they will create different.
She's a lady.
Yeah, she's a lady. They will produce a different cover by a different artist, and they call them variant covers. Sometimes they're worth more, sometimes they're not.
This one's
Sometimes
$1
they
more.
irritate me because I don't like variant covers for the sheer fact that I go into a store and go, oh, crud, I missed this issue. And then I buy it, get home, and realize I got this issue. It's just a different cover. It drives me crazy. So
This cover was done by a person you like, too.
I can't remember who.
Simone DeMeo?
Who I think does the art for We Only Find Them When They're Dead. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would have to look it up. You could Google that, Hannah. Anyway. So here's my books for the week. I will go, I'm going to start off with my 2 DC books. These are each issue. Well, first off, I got Swamp Thing issue 4. Swamp Thing is a 10-issue series they're just doing, which is something new that DC is doing. They're doing a bunch of their smaller, lesser characters, I guess you could say.
Swamp
and they're putting
Thing?
them. Yeah, Swamp Thing is not really a big moneymaker like Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman.
That was like a phenomenal thing
Well,
that we read, though.
Yes, it was. And you and I, not everyone agrees. So
Well, you should try again,
I like
friends.
the Swamp Thing. It's written by a guy named Ram V, he's like one of the hot new things right now. But this issue 4 follows up with the Swamp Thing trying to save his girl who's been sucked into the green and walked around by Jason Woodrow, who
Oh, that ain't good.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of good, my friend.
This is really cool, though, because we meet the Swamp Thing has there's a page in here, like a big splash page, which is a full 2-page picture of all the different memories that the Swamp Thing has had, the different people who were Swamp Things have had.
Interesting.
So there's pictures from the OG. There's pictures from when Alan Moore did it. And we meet Alec Holland, who was the Swamp Thing in the comic book that Hannah and I read. But
So
the
Swamp Thing issue 4?
Yeah, he rescues her, brings her out of the green, and we come to find out that there is another one of these evil corporations trying to get the info and stuff.
Why is everyone trying to get the info?
Well, because, I mean, what can you do with unlimited plant power? You know,
Save
you could be like
the
that chick
earth.
off of, you'd be like that chick off of
Layla.
Layla, yeah, from Sky High.
Anytime we played pretend, that was my powers.
I know. My other book of from DC is also issue 4. Really, it's issues 1 through 4. My friend Hector Mirai was telling me that we need to be reading Suicide Squad. I happened to find issues 1 through 4 at a comic book shop in Lexington, and I bought all 4 of them.
Suicide Squad.
So it's a great story. If Peacemaker, I'm loving him. He just wants.
That's John Cena.
It's John Cena's character. He is all about fulfilling the mission, no matter what it takes. He has a specific focus. It may not always be right, but you always know what it is. You never have to guess where he fits in all this.
That's
of course,
funny.
The Amanda Waller character is terrible. Red X. This picks up. I actually got it because we talked about Teen Titans Academy and how the Suicide Squad
because she's in.
girl.
You mentioned that.
Yes, and this has that in there.
Oh no!
It's a crossover with that, and they end up capturing Red X, who it isn't Red X. He wasn't captured. He let them capture him.
Of course he did.
And he only wanted to get there, and he let loose a person that Amanda Waller had in prison.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. It's really good. The art is well done. The book is great. The characters are fun. I give it.
Here's the thing. I'm pro Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you know. Oh yeah, she's a bad mamma jamma.
Okay, so
you can't convince me she ain't.
I got 2 books from Marvel.
Okay.
The first one is Amazing Spider-Man 67. This starts something called the Chameleon Conspiracy.
Okay. Is he a chameleon or is someone else the bad guy chameleon?
No, the chameleon is the villain who was the son of Wilson Fisk, who he just brought back to life.
Bad.
Yeah. But this is leading up to the Sinister War coming up.
Sinister Summer that we're about to embark on.
They're about to embark on. But the chameleon...
I have a question.
Go.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, okay.
How can they do Sinister Summer if they only release one comic every month?
Well, that they don't do with Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man is bi-monthly. You get 2 a month of
2.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Plus, they're going to do...
But it's like just June, July, and August, right?
Plus, they're going to do, I believe, a weekly Sinister comic book.
Really?
And then they'll probably bookend it with a first issue, like a special, and end it with a special. Okay. So you're probably talking about 8 or 9, maybe 10 books.
Okay,
maybe 10 books altogether.
I was way
off.
If
it's 20, that's way too many. I'm sick of that. It's like that King of Black. There was so many daggone. But anyway, the cool thing about this is the chameleon ages ago when they had this Spider-Man clone and all this garbage, and then Peter's parents came back and they were there, and his sister, he's got a sister, and then it came to find out that the chameleon created his mom and dad, that they were really robots and blah, blah, blah. They weren't really real or something like that. Well, there's a cool thing where Spider-Man's sister, Peter Parker's sister, confronts the chameleon because she just wants to know, is she real or not?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's a really cool book.
That's sad, Dad.
I know, it is sad. My next book from Marvel is the Iron Man Annual 1. This starts something called the Infinite Destinies, which is dealing with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
But not really the gauntlet, it's the stones. So they explain something in the back of this book that like the stones work on like a circuit. Like if you have this stone, it does with this other stone, then their powers are like multiplied because you can do different things with these stones. So if you get all the stones, anyway, yada yada. The thing about it is
I'm thinking about what you're saying and it's making sense in my brain.
Yeah. So and actually at the back they have a panel that shows how it works, the circuit, what it looks like,
Ooh, I wanna
and
see. Hey, take a picture and send it to me. I'll put it in the show notes.
okay, yeah, it's the Infinity Stones, and as of right now, we only know where like 3 Infinity Stones are,
Okay,
and
pause. In
what
comic book, in MCU.
in the comic book,
Okay.
in the comic book,
I'm with you.
right? So. And here's the deal. This summer, they're also doing Black Cat, who I love, by Jed McKay. And actually, Jed McKay wrote this.
Oh, dope.
That's her next big heist. She steals things, and she's now stealing the Infinity Stones.
That's her next big heist.
Her next big heist is stealing the Infinity Stones. I love the Black Cat character. She's fantastic. In this issue, Miles Morales is teaming up with Iron Man to tackle something in New York. And Miles is telling Iron Man how he's been harassed by this villain called the Assessor, who basically is just doing that. He's assessing his powers, which can't be good. So Iron Man decides, I'm going to take this guy out because he shouldn't be hassling these young kids. And during this battle with the Assessor, of course, Iron Man destroys the Assessor, but doesn't destroy the Assessor. The Assessor has this guy who works with him called Quantum, who like goes through portals and does stuff or whatever. And you come to find out at the end that Quantum has the Space Gem, Space Stone.
Oh, no.
So, and the Assessor will not take the Space Stone. It's like inside it looks like a black hole inside of his chest.
Like that lady. Coben, my man.
Come on, my man. What do you mean?
She had the things inside of her body.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Pavla Laguna.
Yeah.
That's what her name was. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you were with me. It took.
I was with you all the way.
You were with me, Dad. I appreciate you.
My 2 independents are both from Image.
Oh, we love Image Comics. We also love Boom Studios, TBH.
Yes. This was Firepower, issue 12, was an oversized spectacular finishing one of the story arcs.
Okay.
This is the one about the...
Oversized spectacular means what?
More pages than it
big?
normally. More pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They just put that over there. Oversized, 12th issue spectacular. It's by Robert Kirkman, the guy who did The Walking Dead and also Invincibles.
Oh, we liked Invincibles.
Yeah. And
it was kind of sad, but we liked it.
And also by Skybound, that same group that's going to be bringing us
Fun.
the Lego book.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the Ninja Family. Remember the guy I talked to you about?
The Ninja Family.
He's like a ninja. His wife's a police officer. They've taught the children martial arts and how to take care of themselves. And he has he has the fist power, the fire fist or whatever, the fist of fire. And they end up going back to wherever he came from to battle this group that was to awaken or destroy the world with this dragon. And in this issue, we find out that the dragon isn't real.
It was a ploy.
And that the guy who had been protecting him all this time and was fighting against him was like, I've been lied to all this time, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's a ploy.
I think the dragon actually exists?
I think the dragon lives and
the dragon is actually a person and can shapeshift? What?
Like in my comic book, The Bequest.
I'm just saying.
Remember, we read that comic book about the guy the red dragon?
We talked, Dad, I told you that red dragons, they are not to be tampered with. They are a nasty chromatic dragon.
So my next comic book is Ink Blot.
Oh, we love with the cat.
Image, with the, yes.
I want to read this.
Okay, and here's the deal. I do too. And you know, wouldn't it be good if we could get her on our show? Wouldn't it be good if we could get anybody on our show? But anyway.
Anybody want to be on our podcast? We'd love to talk to you.
Here's the deal. The lady who does this name's Emma Kubert. I have been reading and collecting comic books so long that I bought comic books her dad wrote.
No way. Dad, that's so cool.
And her grandpa. Not just her dad, her grandpa.
Hey, what a beautiful and lovely family legacy to have.
Yes. I really enjoy this book. And I believe almost all these ones I've talked about today, kids could read. Ink Blot
is a bit more hardcore.
No. It's fun. It's more fun. I think it's
Oh.
lighthearted.
Okay.
It has some, this issue had to do with two orcs who got caught in the middle of a battle. So, and the cat like keeps transporting them to different places in the battle. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, yes, I would love to have her on.
I want to read that book. You've talked about it now. Goodness, you've been
a couple times. It's because here's the deal. I like lighthearted comics and stuff like that. So anyway, we got to get going and we're going to run out of time.
Book of the week.
The book of the week is called Milestone Returns, Infinite Edition 0. So we briefly talked about
Infinite
Milestone, Infinite Edition 0.
Okay.
This is we talked about Milestone Comics that was a black creator created all these comic book characters that were all of color, most African American.
It's awesome.
And like Static Shock.
Yes.
So they're bringing back the comic books that all those characters were in.
That's
and
so
this
fun.
was the issue that reintroduced and brought everybody out.
So this
is my book.
By Milestone?
It's by DC. Well, DC owned Milestone.
Okay.
So Milestone was just another, I don't know what you call that.
Like publication
a label.
head,
Milestone was
perhaps?
a label underneath DC Comics. So it all takes place in the fictional city of Dakota.
No, I understand it now in my head because I'm thinking about like when you think of Harlequin, you think of like a type of publication.
Okay.
But I read this like
Vertigo Comics
Faye
was in
series
DC.
by Harlequin Adolescent,
There you go. Yeah, just like that.
and it was
So that's my.
the Iron Queen. If you want,
It's basically reintroducing everyone to all the characters.
Okay, dope.
A little bit resetting up the origin of a couple of them.
That's so cool.
The artist.
So this is kind of like, yo, we back.
Yo, we back, and the series will start in a month or two.
That's so fun.
There you go.
That's exciting. That's something to look forward to.
That's my book of the month, book of the week, not month.
Book of the week.
Book of the week.
It's your book of the week.
I like that sound.
Thank you, Dad. I appreciate it.
All right. So Hannah and I, this is going to be, if you don't want to know about the first episode.
Well, should we save it for the end then? Should we talk about our comic book first?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's save it for the end.
Okay.
Since we're doing comics. Hannah and I read a trade paperback. Well, it's the first 7 issues, I believe.
Which is now a trade paperback.
Which is now in trade. It just came out. You can purchase it on Amazon or Comixology, whatever you want to do. It is called 7 Secrets.
Yes. Is that the trade?
No, this is another variant cover for issue 1.
LOL, you hate those.
I know. This is put out by Boom Studios, an independent, created by Tom Taylor. Danielle Danucleo is the artist. I'm sure I butchered the name. Tom Taylor I love because he does Deceased. And I believe he's also writing Nightwing too.
Is he?
Could be wrong.
Cool.
I can't remember. But yes. So Hannah, lay down. What happens?
Okay,
What's this
so
book
7
about?
secrets. There are 7 secrets that are kept in boxes.
Briefcases.
Like briefcases. Something I thought was very interesting. Each briefcase is a different number in a different language.
I know. How cool is that?
I was like, I knew. One of them was,
one of them's in Hebrew.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I know that language.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find it.
There are 7 secrets that have been around for forever, basically. And there are 7 holders of the secrets and 7 keepers. Isn't that right, Hannah?
Yeah, so a holder, what's the difference?
The holder is
Holds
basically I thought that was the protector. Okay.
One of them knows it and the other one holds the box.
No. I don't think so.
Oh. Because I thought it was more of a big deal to be a keeper than a holder.
The big deal is the person who holds I don't know. Okay, now I'm confused. So there are one person who never lets go of their briefcase, right?
Yes.
And that's what there are 7 of them.
Casper.
And they Well, right. So this follows.
So there's 7 secrets. There's 2 people. One person holds the box. The other person protects the person who's holding the briefcase. LOL, not a box, briefcase. And they all do different things. We don't know what they do and we don't know what they are.
All we know is secret 3. We know what third secret is.
And we know what another of the secret does. It destroys
7.
stuff.
The 7th secret. Yeah.
No, because they opened the box.
That was Sacred 7. That was the 7th secret.
No, because what's-his-face has the 7th secret. Casper has the 7th secret.
So which secret did they open?
They opened one secret and then entered the Fae. And then
That was the 3rd secret.
And then another of the secrets was opened in front of that old lady.
Yeah, and it
she was
went
like,
all
"You fools,
Indiana
don't open it."
Indiana
And then
Jones.
Indiana Jones, their face.
Jones. Yeah. Okay, so here's the setup. There is a secret society that takes care of these secrets. The society isn't super secret because the people,
The government knows
the
about
government knows about it, and they
And
do anything.
governments, in
Yes.
all of them, not just America government, governments over
Governments. It starts out that two of the people who are involved, a keeper and a holder or whatever, they have a relationship that is a forbidden relationship, and she finds out she's going to have a baby, and they have to choose between having this child or keeping their oath of the secret, and they choose the oath.
Mm-hmm.
However,
The oath was first.
However, they keep the child. They take the child to be raised in the order of the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So the father got to name the child. He named him Casper, which meant
beloved secret.
Beloved secret. Casper is I think he is the secret. BT Dubs.
You think he is the 7th secret?
I think he could be. Yeah. So what happens is the older lady in charge of all of them at the time.
What's her name?
I don't know. She gives the child to be taken in secret
We are
until he's
explaining this
9 years
so
old.
badly.
He's 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring him back at 9 when he's
Yeah.
9 years old, and they start training him. And
Yeah.
then what happens is one of the keepers of the secret dies, and
Sigurd,
who was Casper's dad, died.
Sigurd and Eva.
And they have to find a replacement holder and keeper.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So what do you think, Hannah? What do you think about this book? So we're butchering the explanation.
Yeah,
you're saying.
we're doing a really, really bad explanation.
This is a
of
great
this.
comic book.
And here's the thing: there's so much lore that they give it
Yes.
to you in pieces.
That's-
So it's not like a lore heavy first book, because sometimes that can be really, really disheartening and very confusing. Is when you're
I didn't get it until I went back and reread it.
No, yeah. And the only reason that I understood it the first time I read it was because you had been talking about this book for a while. I think that you talked about 7 secrets in your pull list.
Yeah, I said it was one of my top 3 of last year.
Yeah,
new
2020.
series. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I really like something that I think is very interesting and that the old lady talks about, whose name I can't remember. She's like the ancient one of this. If you think Doctor Strange, this old lady is like ancient one. She's in charge of everything.
Right.
She is the first secret. She's like the keeper of the first secret or something like that. And I think she and the big guy have a kid together, and that's the guy who's coming back.
Absolutely. That's the bad guy.
100%. Yeah, the big bad guy in this is her son.
Do you not catch that?
No,
So
100%. No, I know that that's what it is. And the whole thing for him, this evil guy's whole driving thing is, my mom didn't want me. This person,
which is the
gave me up.
antithesis of Casper.
Complete opposite of Casper, because his mom was like, I need to tell you something, and it is the most deadliest secret I will ever tell you. And secrets are big in these people, and they understand the weight of them and things like that.
And what was that secret?
And it
that
was
he told her?
She told him, she gave him a kiss on the forehead and was like, I love you more than anything in this world.
Yeah.
And
it was a deadly secret he had to keep.
A deadly secret to keep, because, oh my goodness, because that's not what you do in this society. You love your you love and protect your secret more than anything else. The
Well,
one that
and
you
then
carry, not like the briefcase.
But she did carry him.
She did carry him in the briefcase.
Do you see all after his dad dies, and he gives him a box. At this time he is 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He gets this box that his dad, who could never be his dad, and you come to find out that Casper is trained by all these people, but never trained by his real parents.
They're afraid of hurting him, I think.
Until, I can't remember what happens. Something happens, and they decide, we will train you too, and how to handle all this stuff. But anyway, he gets a box, and it has 15 gifts in it. One for each year. One of them it had a Clash record in it. It has a comic book.
London Calling, 1984.
They have the book 1984. We Only Find Them When They're Dead comic book, which is also by Boom Studios, is in there. That's by Al Ewing.
3 birds that have been whittled.
But he has something to do with the bird.
I think he can fly.
What?
I think that Casper flies.
Okay, just as an aside, you come to find out that when he was a baby, up until he was 9,
he was raised by
he was raised by fairies.
He was raised
literally. They're like, can we eat him? No, you can't eat him.
Fairies are creepy as heck.
They are creepy, but so he learned all this stuff and he just couldn't remember.
I think he is part fairy. He's not, but I think that his time in the Fae.
I'm a human raised by elves.
Impact.
I'm a human raised by humans.
But I thought that, and they talk about that. So Sigurd, how do you say that,
I don't know how
Dad?
you pronounce it. I don't know.
I feel like we're saying his name wrong.
It doesn't matter.
His dad, he was having a conversation with his dad about like fighting because he's like this big dude. His dad is this huge man, like with these like in like punch, like one of those people. And he gave this little bird thing. Casper gave it to Sigurd and was like, here you go. And he had it on him. Did you notice that?
Yes, he had it on him when he died.
He had it on him when he died, so he carried it with him. And he told him once, hey, I like your jacket. And he put the jacket in.
He put it in the box.
As a present. I found the page and she was like,
he says you'll have to grow into it.
Yeah. Casper, can you keep a secret after all the training I've had? I'd hope so. I mean it. I need you to promise me. I promise. I have to tell you what Sigurd, I need to say what he never had a chance to say, but it's dangerous. What the dad
never had a chance to say, yes.
You can trust me. It's okay. Casper, I love you with my whole heart. She kisses him on the forehead. And then Casper's like inner monologue. It was the first time in my life anyone had kissed me. And it's still the greatest secret I've ever had.
Isn't that great? It's good, I'm telling you. So
it's so sweet.
Read the book.
I want to know about Kanto. I want to know what Kanto's face is.
I think Kanto's the bad guy. I think he's the mole.
You think Kanto's the mole?
Yeah, the
Kanto's
one with the mask over his face. I think he's the mole.
Well, Kanto, we don't know Kanto's gender. We don't.
That's
true. Kanto, we don't know Kanto.
We don't know. I think Kanto is the mole.
Oh, I don't want Kanto to be the mole. I want Titus to be the mole.
No. Titus is full blown, I believe 100%. Titus is a kid in it who wanted to be one of the keepers so bad. And he didn't like Casper. Anyway, after he thought he'd won, he was like, put his arms up in the air. Yes, I won! But into doing that, he set his secret down, and Casper never let go of his. So Casper got it.
The holder is the person who holds the secret.
Gotcha.
The key holds the briefcase. The keeper, I think, is a person who knows what the secret is.
Gotcha.
And who protects it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, anyway, this is I can't wait. This could go on for a while.
Here's the thing. I didn't realize. I thought this was. I thought this was it. And so I'm like flying through these as quick as I can. Like, these are so great. I want to know how it ends. What's going to happen?
And you're like,
and then I get to the end and I'm like, what? And then I was like, Dad, that was such a lame ending. And he's like, Hannah, it's not over. And I'm like,
It's going on. I still get it every month. It is on my pull list. Yeah.
I'm like,
All
oh,
right.
I got that wrong.
Seven
Okay.
Secrets. And I think I want a t-shirt with that symbol
Ooh,
on
with
it.
the symbol on it?
Yeah,
that
with
would
the
be
Seven
dope.
Secrets symbol.
Or dad.
Or what?
Enamel pin.
Do they make these in enamel pins?
I don't know, but I would wear one on my jacket.
I would too. It's pretty cool. Come on, Tom, get with it. Enamel pin us.
We need some enamel pins, my guy.
All right. Anywho.
Okay, so we're gonna do some spoilers now.
Yes, we watched the first episode of Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
We also already
read it and reviewed it.
read the comic book. So if you don't want to pay attention,
Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh,
the first
Dad,
episode was so much better.
Texted you throughout it. I was like, Dad.
I know you thought they're going to kill the dad. Okay, so the dad is, I believe, Bill Hader. He's a Saturday Night Live guy.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I know him because he used to do this character where he would talk really quiet in the thing. And he was so good as the dad. Mm-hmm. And so what was in those needle things that he went out to go get these people with?
That was the sick.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. Because it was in a bio box.
Yeah.
It had the biohazard symbol on it.
Yeah. You remember from the comic book how they want to go back to his cabin to find the stuff. Mm-hmm. Remember that in the comic book? So how do you think they introduced Mr. Jeppards? We don't get his name in the first episode.
Jeopard.
I like the character so much better in this than the...
Love him. Big man!
In the comic book, you knew right off the bat that he's
bad
not
news.
to be trusted.
He was bad news. Well, here's the thing. I think this is more... I think this is less third person watching. I think this is more of us seeing things from Sweet Tooth's perspective.
Well, for people who are
listening,
and if you've not seen it, there is a narrator throughout it. And it's done so well. It was done so well. And we get a little bit... I like the fact that I get a background on the doctor.
Yeah.
Who I couldn't stand in the comic book.
Could not stand him in the comic book.
No, I couldn't not stand him, but it was sort of like, listen, you're allowing these bad things to happen. Right? You know, so if you allow it to happen...
you don't... If you haven't read the comic book, you don't know that he's a bad dude.
But I don't think he's a bad dude intrinsically. I think he, I'm assuming he's lost his wife, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But so in the comic book, Jeppards is a hockey player, but in this, did you catch what he is?
Is he a wrestler?
No.
I missed it.
You did miss it. So while the doctor was getting ready in the morning for breakfast and everything, the TV was on in the background and it showed highlights from the football game.
Mm-hmm. He does. He could... I don't know much about football, but I
like that they changed his race. I thought that was a good way to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that way you didn't whiteify the whole entire thing. I mean, include people of different color.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
He is, he's been in a couple movies, but has been in like kids movies. So
okay.
he was
he looked familiar.
He was in the remake of Cinderella.
That's right. I remember that.
He was in the remake of Cinderella.
Funny in that. He was
funny in that. He was also he was the captain of the guard, and he also was in Artemis Fowl.
I didn't see that.
He was the fairy king, not fairy king, but like the fairy captain of the guard in Artemis Fowl.
Okay, cool.
And apparently he was also he was a recurring character in Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch that either.
But
so.
I don't know what he is, what he was or is in that.
Sometimes I get lost with child actors. Sometimes I just can't follow if they're not, but I think this child actor is really good.
I really and I like what they've done about like bringing in from the very beginning that it's weird and the people are shocked that he can like speak and is so articulate.
Yes. Because
that was a big thing later on in the comic. It was like not all of these kids who hybrids,
born animals, hybrids as they call them,
can
speak.
talk and speak.
Or But and I tell you what, I also liked. I caught it didn't really manifest itself to the end. Him jumping through and on top and around things. He can move like a deer.
Like a deer. He can move like a deer.
I tell you what I also liked the part that I didn't like in the comic book. I'm glad that in the comic book, the dad instilled fear in him through the use of religion.
Yeah, I noticed that they didn't do that this time too.
And they didn't do that in here. And I appreciated that.
This was
like
survivalist training.
We don't go out.
And like
you
things
don't light a fire during the day.
Yeah, that was a dumb thing that he did. And he had told his son that. He just got angry.
And Jeppards is like
12-year-old boys
never tell you not to.
How old is he? Is he 12, 10?
By
his remember. Blank winter. They told us his age, but I don't remember what it is.
He's either 9 or 10, I would say.
But little boys like that,
he's by himself.
He's by himself, and he's
at
afraid.
Least for 4. He had been by himself for at least 5 or 6 months,
and he was having a bad day. Like everything he was trying to do that day was breaking, and he couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It was
but they do
so
the character of Jeppards is introduced as more of a helping
benevolent
kind of guy,
helper
instead of a guy out for his own benefit, who does in the comic book does have a change of heart.
And I think that it will still happen the way the comic book is written.
You think? I do too.
I do. Like I just think it will.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: Jeppard is a bad mamma jamma in the comic book, and he's a bad mamma jamma in this too.
Yeah.
Like, and watch the splash page where they're running across the plane.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm as I compared this to the comic book and the episode of Lock and Key on Netflix with the comic book.
Did you watch the episode of Lock and Key?
I watched the first episode. The comic books are so much more
in depth,
dark, and just
even the music in this was light.
It was like a fairy tale. It's like a Grimm's fairy tale.
It is
not like a happy-go-lucky fairy tale. A lot of fairy tales
are spooky and they end badly.
Yeah. And this is what this feels like. But it is much lighter in tone than the comic book.
The comic book is clearly R. I would say that it's MA.
Absolutely.
This is more PG-13.
It's TV-14.
Yeah. It's not
I tell you what helps it though. The Gus, the character,
isn't as creepy.
He's a cutie.
He's a cutie little nug.
I believe that Jeff Lemire, the creator and artist, his art
is just stylized.
His stylized the art made it creepy.
I think that for sure helped. And I think they did a good job because in the comic, something that I really liked is that Gus would go into these dream sequences where he would just imagine things.
Right. They haven't done that.
And it was creepy. They did. Because the dad was telling a story and he saw things through the steam of the bath.
But it was his dad telling the story, not Gus inner dialogue.
It wasn't any inner dialogue. But he was still visualizing rather than dad just telling him a story. So I think that could be a good way that they keep doing that. I mean, I don't know. We just watched the first episode.
Yeah. Are you going to watch more?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I don't think this will be a thing that I will watch at night by myself because I did that yesterday and just screamed a lot. Not a lot, but I was
it wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't. But
there was some peril when the two hunters come. When
the second hunter popped out of nowhere, I screamed out loud. Mm-hmm. It jump scared me bad.
Well, I hope your neighbors were going, oh.
I mean, it wasn't that late. It was 9:00. It wasn't awful.
The first episode is definitely a 10-pointer.
Yeah, and it was...
That was my deer antler analogy. Did you catch that?
I liked that it was... I did. I liked that it was not exactly spot on the comic, but...
I guess I should do this. For those of you who don't know, Sweet Tooth is a new miniseries on Netflix, TV-14, based on the comic book Sweet Tooth, which has to do with the planet we have a virus.
The sick.
They call the sick, and people are dying from it. But what's happening is children are born as hybrids. They call them hybrids, but they are animal-human hybrids. And the issue is they don't know which came first, the hybrids or the sick. Now, like 12 years has passed, maybe 9, 10, we don't know exactly how many. It's close to that. And the world has basically gone straight down the tubes. After the internet fell, that's what the guy says.
Yeah, you got to be able to Google stuff, Dad.
The world has gone down, and it's now just pockets of civilization or pockets of camps. Companies is what one person called them, that band together. And this is a father and son who have separated themselves in Yellowstone National Park from the outside world. The dad is trying to save the son from something. He knew it was going to happen
because the son is a hybrid.
Because the son is a hybrid. But
I think the dad had some special knowledge.
Yeah, because we believe I think he has something to do with it.
We think Sweet Tooth might be the key.
But I'm going to finish it. There we go.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Right. It was really, really good. I would recommend this for people who like kind of creepy things. It's not super creepy. I would say high schoolers could for sure watch it.
Absolutely.
Maybe you have a middle schooler who's not afraid of things, or you are
watch it with them.
More light in your restrictions.
Or watch it first and then choose for yourself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my middle schooler watch it.
Meh.
But there it is.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm an old fart. But anyway. All right,
you
end roll,
no
Hannah.
More middle schools. Okay, thank you so much for listening and hanging with us, sweet friends. We appreciate it. We rambled a bit today, but as we do, we do. Our art is done by Nathan Turner. He's my sweet, sweet brother.
On Microsoft Paint.
Yeah. How did he do that? With talent. That's how.
I know. And our music is by the newly wedded.
Yeah.
Brock Nason.
LOL.
Just got married. Shout out to the newlyweds.
Good for you, my guy. Congrats. Dad is in charge of our YouTube page, and I edit and upload our podcast. Dad, get on that. Our YouTube is hopping.
It is hopping.
We are thankful for you, sweet friends.
It's hopping like a lame frog.
Dad,
a one-legged frog.
Dad.
What?
All frogs are cool.
Not the one that I dipped out of the pool yesterday.
Oh, Daddy, gross.
Sorry. All right, we love you guys. Thank you for hanging with us.
We
tune in next time when we will do this again.
Yes,
but different.
And catch ya on the flippity flop.
Bye, guys.
Bye.